The new media narrative is one mask? Sure. We've got 75% of the country in on that. What about two masks? And there is an honest to God huge push right now to get you to wear two masks. Not just one, that's not good enough anymore. They've convinced the majority of the US population and the world population for that matter, after telling us not to wear them, that one mask is good. And many people, including myself, try to make right by that. And when you're supposed to wear a mask somewhere, you do it. But now, that's not good enough. One mask is not good enough. It's good, but would two be better? There's a couple of reasons why this is making the rounds. This is the New York Times this week. Seriously. One mask is good, would two be better? Health experts double down on their advice for slowing the spread of the coronavirus. And on Catherine J. Wu goes about how sure we can do one, but you know what's even better? Two. And then you get into articles like this from the Daily Mail. Wearing two masks like Joe Biden could help in the fight against coronavirus by blocking more than 90% of infectious particles, research suggests. A cloth mask over a surgical mask gives maximal protection, scientists say. A lot of people are anecdotally saying, well, I sometimes see doctors wearing two masks, not just Joe Biden. Doctors often do wear extra masks, but usually it's to protect their N95 masks, which are really hard to get still in some places, and also a little more expensive. So there's a reason why they'll do that at particular times. They say research shows double masking can block more than 90% of infectious drops. A surgical mask alone is good filtration, but a poor fit blocking some 70%. Oh, we can get to 90%, baby. And not to really throw this whole thing off, but many studies have already shown that if you're in a closed space with a bunch of people, if everyone's wearing masks, everybody can still get it. So maybe we should just do 7 masks now. Like, just pile up your face with masks until it gets like inches out. You're going to be so safe. Are two face masks better than one when it comes to slowing the spread of COVID-19, says KHOU in Houston. They have a whole report on this. Maybe we should check this out.
Have you noticed people wearing two masks
Two!
at a time? We've seen President-elect Joe Biden do it, as well as Dr. Anthony Fauci. Hard enough to get some people to wear just one, let alone two. So does this make a difference? Here's Lauren Tallarico.
Let's investigate.
Are two better than one? It seems more and more people are doubling down, literally, on masks.
We talk about masks as if they're all the same, and they're not.
We checked with Dr. Catherine Troisi, an epidemiologist at UT Health School of Public Health, to see if double mask duty makes a difference when it comes to stopping the spread of COVID-19.
Good God. We'll get to the doctor in a second. But I will tell you, I went through the airport a couple of weeks ago, and there were people wearing two masks. They're just piling them up on their faces. And there's each layer you get. If you have two masks, and then you have a face shield, you're really protected. Until, of course, you get into that tiny tube full of people where nobody can be socially distanced. That really screws things up. Back to the doctor.
You have a mask that is already double layered and has a pocket so you can put a filter in it, then it's probably not necessary to double mask.
Oh!
If, however, you have a thin mask, then double masking might be a good idea. Because if you're wearing a surgical mask, they're good at filtering, but they don't tend to fit here real well. You know, you see them gapping. And so to put a cloth mask over that to seal it better.
All right, so they said the only downside, I'm going to read this to you because you probably wouldn't believe me otherwise. You ready? Here it is right here. The only downside to wearing two masks is that you might not be able to breathe as well. That's what it literally says. This article says there's no real downside. All right, here's the actual part. I'll bring it up on the screen. Dr. Troisi said there's no real downside to double masking except possibly making it harder to breathe. It's a tiny little thing. Double them up, baby. Get more masks on. Does wearing two face masks offer more protection against COVID-19? Here's what to know, says prevention.com. They say in this, the goal of a mask is to create a barrier. If you're not using some kind of flimsy mask, then having a double mask may help, but it's not something you need to do. Some of these other places saying sometimes if you wear two masks, it can actually be bad. You can get a layer between the masks where the virus builds up. Ooh, you don't want that. And this article takes that tact as well from Times of India. So you don't need this. There's no need for it at all. But there it is. Are you going to wear two masks? I don't know if some of you are wearing one mask. Give me your thoughts on this. I'm interested to see what you have to say. And as a bonus sort of bombshell on the end of this, there is a new study. This is a peer-reviewed study. It says this has been accepted for publication and undergone full peer review right here. And this is from the European Journal of Clinical Investigation, assessing the mandatory spread of COVID-19. Assessing the mandatory stay-at-home and business closure effects on the spread of COVID-19. This study says the most restrictive and non-pharmaceutical interventions for controlling the spread of COVID-19 are mandatory stay-at-home and business closures. Those are the two. Those are the non-pharmaceutical interventions. So stay-at-home and business closures. They went through this and they looked in multiple countries, examining all the countries that did these lockdowns. The results of this peer-reviewed study, implementing any NPIs was associated with significant reductions in case growth in 9 out of 10 study countries, including South Korea and Sweden, that implemented only IRNPIs. After subtracting the epidemic and IRNPI effects, we find no clear, significant beneficial effect of this. That means that there's no real reason to do some of this stuff. According to this paper, check it out, assessing mandatory stay-at-home and business closure effects on the spread of COVID-19. Another interesting piece of information coming out today. So what do you think? Are you a two-masker? Are you going to be like Biden? Are you going to follow the lead of the New York Times? Let me know. I know you will anyhow, and we'll see you real soon.